All right. We should have audio. It should be good. I'm going to just check real fast. You know, let me get some overlays up here. Hopefully, I can fix this shit soon and sort this PC out. I got my actual PC seems to be running pretty smooth now. I don't want to really install too much streaming shit on it because, well, I'd just rather not. I mean, I don't know where to put my fucking phone. I can put it over there. I'll just put it over there. I have to put it up as high as it can possibly fucking go. It's ridiculous. I don't like doing this because I feel like if things fucking went wrong and my phone fell, it would be pretty bad for it. But I mean, there's no reason why anything should ever bump it back there. None whatsoever. And we have the rules here in case people forget. They can always be reminded. Rule number 1, don't drop the weights. We're not supposed to do that? I think it's situational. Share equipment. Please don't hog. I like this one. Re-rack your weight. If you use it, put it back. Fuck. Don't offer unsolicited advice. I mean, that's a good one too, actually. I can offer all the unsolicited advice I fucking want in this stream, but to somebody else in the gym, I mean, I don't know. I think now, offering and asking are two different things, right? Like if you see something that's concerning you about the way that somebody's doing something, one thing you could do is be like, hey, can I give you a little bit of advice? I just, and if they say no, then okay, cool, right on. But then sometimes, I mean, I don't know, that might leave them kind of with a weird thought about you. Wasn't like some fucking weirdo asked me if I needed advice. If I wanted advice in the gym, like the fuck, it really, I mean, sometimes maybe it's just best to keep your mouth shut. I don't know. Do offer and ask for a spot when needed. Always wipe down equipment after use. Keep your music to yourself. Respect personal space. Do not distract heavy lifters. Yeah, we can distract the little lifters, though. The light lifters. We'll distract them all we want. No, it's, when somebody's lifting heavy, it's important that they have pretty good focus, sometimes. Oh, you don't want a bunch of weird distractions happening. I understand. I'm just being an idiot. Liberty Street with the rain. Dude, I was just logging in on Twitch. Can you guys hear me? I was going to check my audio because, well, I was on your channel. My audio sounds just fine. Hell yeah. We're going. We're doing it. I'm warming up. What was I just talking about? Oh, we were reading the gym rules. See? They're right here. All this stuff. Don't drop the weights. I was gonna say, I think I've broken that one a couple times here. Not on purpose. I mean, not really. Like, I don't know. Can you not? I think that with like things like deadlift and stuff like that, like it's actually not that bad to drop the fucking weight. And the platform back there, right? Like about the only spot that it would really be acceptable. Don't like throw your fucking dumbbells on the ground and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty common sense, right? Share equipment, don't hog. That's why I come at 3 a.m. so I can hog all of it. It's all mine. I mean, if I told somebody this was my fucking gym, they wouldn't doubt it right now. Look, but why do you have all the cardio machines? I like to have different treadmills. What do you mean? What happened? Like, yeah. I mean, let me test it here. Yeah, you probably just need to log back in, honestly. I know. Frosty Tools made some changes a while back. It should have notified you in stream, like telling you that you needed to like go back to Frosty Tools and like reauthorize with your Twitch account. Literally, probably that simple. Like go on to Frosty Tools and log back in and reauthorize, and verify that Frosty Tools is still a mod within your channel. And, if you had your bot connected, you'll need to disconnect your bot and then reconnect your bot as well. So it should, I mean, I muted Frosty Tools and I disconnected my bot, but I need to reconnect. I should reconnect my bot again. And so that way we don't have the frostytools.com coming in. I'd rather just have it be Robo. And I don't hear it anyways anymore. I shut it off. There's a little bit much to listen to, like Liberty Street Rock. All of a sudden I'm like talking and then it'd be like Liberty Street Rock is shredding to the stream with a mix of iron, and it has no like tone behind it or anything like that, It's just a fucking robot talking. So it's yeah, it sidetracks me. But like I like the TTS because then I can hear everything that people say on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. So that's nice, almost essential for mobile streaming, especially like in the gym. It's hard to follow chat. So like, yeah, being able to follow chat is pretty cool. Now, okay, PC update. All right. I have my main computer pretty much working. Okay. No issues to speak of yet. Big yet, right? Reset everything on the BIOS, updated the BIOS, reset the BIOS and all of the system components to whatever the motherboard specified as the best setting, and did not try and change anything. Did not turn on XMP, turned off Game Boost, turned off all the fancy features, all the bells and whistles, and basically just running my motherboard in its default setting. So nothing's like pumping extra gigahertz. I'm running at like 4.7 on my i9, which is capable of like 5.2. But because Game Boost is not on and I didn't overclock, it's just at stable 4.7, which is fine. It's fine with me. Okay, that's fine. 4,700 megahertz will work for me. Okay, so should be good enough for all the stuff I need to do. Now, tested a couple games. My CPU pegs out at like 100, but only briefly for just a few seconds, right? Then it settles down after the game launches. So now, other issues. All right. So now we don't want to bring streaming to this PC, right? I don't want to have to stream from this computer. I would like, ultimately, to be able to use my capture card and capture the gameplay and then pump it over to another PC that I can use to stream. Okay. Possible. I have all the equipment. I'm trying to use my kid's old PC that's in a case already. And I'm having problems with the capture card not being able. And the i5 is just a little bit like under par for this situation. So I need to run some more tests and check on my other computer that's on the wall to make sure that it would be capable to handle all my cameras and the graphics and the capture card. And then, if that's possible, I need to take that motherfucker off the wall and put it in that case. So this weekend, I might be building another computer, taking one out and taking one motherboard out and putting in another motherboard into this case, so that I can then have a little bit better processor and matchup between, because the i5 is just struggling. It's struggling to keep up with the 1080 or the 1070 or whatever. It's struggling to handle all my cameras. It's struggling. Now, however, it can record things just fine. That doesn't seem to be an issue. So, all of this stuff, I will get it all sorted one way or another. We'll get this fucking shit figured out. Ultimately, I need to maybe set up a fundraiser or something to like get a PC built. About $1,300, right? Is roughly about what it would cost for like all the components, right? You know what I mean? Like that would be basically everything: case, power supply, all of it. And honestly, at this point, that would probably be the best solution to my problem, even though I have a power supply and stuff like that. It could be having issues. My shit's old, man, It's like the computer that I'm trying to run OBS on right now, the motherboard is 14 years old. Motherboard and CPU. That's so fucking old for a motherboard. Dude, trying to run modern day shit on a 14-year-old fucking CPU is like this. Yeah, it's gonna have problems. So, hey, it is what it is. But I'm gonna test some stuff this morning before I go ahead and do all this stuff. Oh, and I'm now officially like next level voice meter audio technical expert, okay? I'm telling you, dude, like dual streaming setup. Let me ask you this. How do you manage audio? What do you do? How do you get audio from one PC to the other? Where do you put your microphone when you need to talk in game and you need to talk to your stream? How do you make this stuff happen? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me an easy solution. I dare you. Yeah, a double streaming setup sounds so fantastic. And it is. Totally is. However, audio's a bitch, dude. Like, I mean, and voice meter, I'm telling you right now, there is no program that exists on the internet that has the capability that voice meter has. Okay, I do not say this lightly. My kid uses another application, and it's a great one, and it works, and it's like for simple setups with like a speaker and a microphone, and that's it. This would be a great application. Steel Series has an awesome mixer app that works really, really well. It's pretty easy to use, a lot easier to use than voice meter. But voice meter is like a donationware program. If you want to get potato, you basically have to buy it, but it's totally worth it, and it's awesome. You can do V-band with voice meter. So when you have a dual streaming setup, you install voice meter on two PCs, right? And then you enable V-band, allow that through your firewall, all that shit, right? Know your IP address, have an understanding of voice meter and its labeling system and what it all means. And then with that knowledge, you can then take independent audio sources from one computer and patch it through to the other PC, right? Like send it into a voice meter input on your other computer. And a voice meter potato is the largest package, so it supports so many things. But you have literally channels A1 through 5 and then B1 through 3, right? So you have 8 fucking channels that you can run various audio things and audio streams from one computer or within one PC to OBS, to taking out like things like, you know, Spotify or voice chat or giving independent control, touching these things, putting these things to like a button on a stream deck or touch portal. So like if somebody starts to say some racist, vulgar shit in party chat and you'd rather your stream not hear them, you could quickly just mute party. You know what I mean? Without having to like shut your stream down, right? Like these kind of things, they might not seem like they're very like essential, but honestly, like as you become a larger streamer and like more and more people come into your channel, you're going to find that you get kind of like bombarded with trolls and things like that a little bit more often. And it takes a little bit more moderator action. And if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have a good team with you, it can be pretty tough, right? Having buttons and quick access and things like that to quickly execute commands is very, very critical to maintaining, you know, things within TOS. Because for one, right, your chat can get you in trouble, okay? So like a troll could come into your channel and start spouting off a bunch of shit, and if you don't take care of it, and then they go and they complain under another, you know, somebody complains about something being said in your channel, then, you know, Twitch comes in and they look, and you can find yourself in some trouble, you know? I mean, not, you know, maybe with like a temporary ban or something, or if bad enough, you know, maybe even permanent. You don't want that, right? Because some jackass came into your fucking channel and started doing some weird shit. But it happens. So, voice meter, fucking awesome. Best program for audio management. And like to some degree it's free, you know? That's another thing that's great about it. All right. Oh, whoops. Almost died. Almost died. Right there. Oh. How many? We got 4 over here. 5 over here. All right, we're good. All right. I will need them. It's 5 a.m. No, just the last time you were here. That was the last. That was the last I saw him. Uh, I mean, he's been around a bit more sporadically. You know what I mean? Like, kind of. But I mean, just busy and shit. Uh oh. I have a towel. You know, I've a lot of people have seen me use this wolf wedge on this leg press, and so I've noticed that a lot of people are starting to use it too on here. There's like a couple kids were like, "Dude, that's crazy! I never thought about that." Like, you know, I mean, honestly, man, a lot of these leg press machines that you can adjust the top plate. On this one, you can't, right? And I like to do my leg press with like my basically like a 90 at the seat, right? Like pretty much a 90. And then if I could, I would want my feet like my toes up even more, because the more you bring your toes up, the more you're able to drive from the heel, right? Assuming you have, I guess, the flexibility. I don't know if it's even, but like even this, I would almost prefer that my toes were more. And like as you come down further, the stretch gets greater and greater, and the further up your toes are, I think the more it keeps it into the back. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just some Oregon hillbilly who likes to lift weights. That's all. The fuck was that? Not really even counting my reps. I have no fucking idea how many that was. I don't care. I don't fucking care. I don't care today. Doesn't matter. Oh. I should get my sandals on. All right. All right, that's good. We should be. Huh. Oh, all right. Okay. We'll start doing just 10. No. I really want to see. So far, my PR is 6 at 14 plates without like any form of assistance at all whatsoever. So, all right, Liberty, have a good one. Lurk. Let's see, it's 5:07. So I'm hoping my son feels all right. I think he will. Yeah. We'll go talk to mama. I think my kid will go to work today. He went to work yesterday, but he came home early. He left at like 11 just because he did not feel good. So he had a bad headache. So he came home and took a nap for a couple hours and then woke up and ate some food and he felt a lot better like later in the evening. Hopefully he can go in today. Everybody at the fucking store is sick. Stupid pneumonia. Izzy's really sick. Chester was pretty bad. Max was kind of down and out for a day or two. They seem all to be pretty much on the mend except for Izzy. Izzy's just like, he's just laying down there and just all hating life right now. But he's getting up on his own to move and walk around and get drinks and go to the bathroom and, like eat and all that stuff. So I'm just making sure he eats his food and, he gets wet food, so it's a little bit hydrating as well. I mean, probably not as much as he needs, but fucking cats, man. And the other cats are all like mad at him and stuff still. They just don't like him. Poor Izzy. Chunk went to attack him and Izzy just laid down on his side. I was like, Chunk, you fucking asshole. Knock it off. Okay, so we're just doing 10. 10. 10. Can stand alone. All right. Electric nuts. What's up, man? Huh. So I played a couple games yesterday. I didn't stream any of it, but I did have my OBS running and kind of working out my audio and stuff like that. I think I've got things all sorted out. I think what I'm going to end up having to do is probably I have a PC on my wall, right? Like it's literally like on a fucking board on a piece of plywood, like laid out on the fucking wall, and it runs and it has servers on it and shit like that. And I think what I'm going to do is probably wipe it out and see what my best fucking hard drive is and install OBS on it, and then put it in my other case, right? Because my i5 is just not working out, dude, for the fucking streaming PC very well. It has problems with the capture card and running one of my cameras as well. It just doesn't quite have the USB bandwidth it needs, power, something's not quite right with the USB system. It just can't run all the things I need to run, which is only like 2 cameras and a capture card. So it should be able to run that just fine, right? I don't have any excess things plugged in, right? It's like literally keyboard, mouse, 1, 2 cameras, capture card. Is there anything else? I feel like there's maybe one more thing. A speaker, right there. Yeah, so there you go. 6 fucking devices, dude. That's it. Nothing more than it should be, but one of the cameras takes a lot of power, a lot of bandwidth. Hey. Mm-hmm. Ugh. I found probably one of the most lightweight ways, aside from a capture card, to be able to transfer a stream over your network. Like, you need to have OBS installed on both your PCs, but Like on the gaming PC, the only thing that you need to have OBS for is a gaming capture, right? And so and then you just run the audio capture audio beta as well. So like what that'll do is it'll capture the audio and the video of the game, and then it will pump it into OBS so that you can then use OBS to stream across your own network to your other PC directly, and then have OBS on the other PC catch and receive that source, right? You just have one be the caller and one be the listener, and then it's a SRT colon / IP address colon port number, and then question mark mode equals caller, and then on the OBS side that would catch, you would have the same exact thing, except it would be like mode equals listener. So then you can send that over to your own PC on your own network, and you just have to be local, have a good wired connection, I would say. Wi-Fi is probably not going to be recommended for that, but it'd still probably work. Just depends on your Wi-Fi. And then in your OBS settings, you go into your OBS video output and you select custom NVEC and pick lossless quality, right? That way you'll have the best quality with the minimum amount of delay. And OBS will only run, like for me, on my i9, OBS runs at like 1%, 2%, 3% at a spike. But the second I add anything else, it spikes up a little bit, So like cameras, all that stuff, it's a little more intensive. And you want to try and keep that stuff on your streaming rig if possible. All right, let's do it, huh? Yeah. Like, you're saying your game audio is out of sync with you talking, right? Is that what you mean? I don't know, dude. That can be tough sometimes, man. I mean, once I get my streaming PC set up and stable, like today I want to play games, dude. I want to fucking play some goddamn games. Oh. Stream doesn't pick up the game audio. Huh. You're streaming it from your, what are you streaming this from? You're streaming it from your PlayStation directly? I tried doing remote play from my PS4 to OBS on the iMac. It works, but it doesn't pick up the game audio. Huh. I mean, it just, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe fuck with some of the settings on your, so what are you doing? Are you like streaming from the PlayStation remote play settings to your local IP address or something? And then you're like pulling that IP address as a media source in OBS. Is that how it's working? Like, I mean, I'm assuming that's probably something how it's kind of going. I'm not too familiar with the remote play on PlayStation. I haven't had a fucking PlayStation, dude, in years, bro. So it's not something I really know any of the features they have. I honestly didn't know you could do that. I mean, I used to do something kind of similar, right? Like before. Yeah, yeah. We'll have to look it over. I I'm gonna stream today. I'm gonna try. I have everything. Yesterday took me a lot longer than I wanted to try and work out an audio solution, and I ran into a major hiccup when my capture card was stuttering really bad, and so that kind of sidelined me and sent me down like a little bit of research, trying to just kind of figure out like what the fuck, and like ultimately I'm coming to the conclusion that, well, it's more than likely just the USB bandwidth and power that's on this computer. I have a couple options. I could take the USB 3.0 extender card out of my other fucking PC and plop it into that one. I don't think I need the USB 3.0 in there. So I could take that out and put it in. That might increase the bandwidth because then we're going to be directly connected to the motherboard. So we're basically creating a whole new USB line that's running off of a PCIe card slot, right? So like the power that's in there should be substantial enough to power pretty much anything. But that could be my solution, right? And it could be something as simple as that, right? Because so far everything else seems to be running great, right? Like when I run the PC and record, which is basically the same thing as streaming, right? As far as the computer's concerned, as long as your settings are like similar for like streaming and recording, then you'll get a similar result when you push that record or that stream button. The only thing different about streaming is that it's going across your network, so it requires some network bandwidth. Now, a lot of times, streams are actually lesser quality than recordings, so recordings can be more taxing on your system than a stream can actually do. The streams can also do this weird compression shit, but anyway, if you just record while you play, you should be able to get a more accurate reading of how OBS is going to respond on your system when you're live, right? It might not be exactly the same because you can just never really mimic that whole live scenario. Anyway, I'm going to do this last set. We've had enough time. Let me. Taylor. Oh. All right. Let's give ourselves like, I want to try. That was definitely a PR. Hell yeah. Look, I matched the picture. Oh man. All right. No excuses. Ruthless. Look. Oh. Look at this dent. You see that big fucking dent in my leg? That's just like a thing. It's just there. Oh. Here. I'll do my last set with my legs out. Let's do it. Ugh. Fuck. I said that last one was going to be my last set, but I think I want to do one more. And I'm feeling like it. This is, I don't know. I can't say what I'm going to say. I can't vocalize my thoughts right now. Born for greatness. All right, I need to hype myself up. No help. Come on. Okay. Woo! I mean, I feel like I'm super pumped. Oh, hey, did you see my other underwear? Look at, they're like constellations. See? Yeah, but look at the stars. See that one? they're like they're like my others. They're like my banana hammock underwear. Another pair, like my bone and underwears. Holy shit. Okay. That's a PR. Like, by a fucking long shot. Like that would be like, I set a PR, and then I said, fuck you PR, and I set a new PR. So, first off, I've only ever done 7 plates, 14 plates for 6 solid, clean, full depth reps, right? My fucking knees are to my goddamn chest here. So, look, I don't need to go any lower. Anybody who tells me I need to go lower can just fuck off. Like, no, there's such a thing as too low when it comes to things like leg press and stuff. But no, my reps were solid. Those 4, I had shaky fucking legs, but I've never done it. That's a lot of weight, man. What is 45 times 16? Can anybody do that math real quick? I'm fucking terrible at math. And then you could take away 30% to find out what. Okay, yeah, so all right, then this might actually have been my max that I've ever done. I don't know. See that? No, I'm fucking quick like a cat. Quick like a cat. Fucking plates can't get me. Shit. So, I think, yes, on leg press, for how many reps? Yeah. I mean, that's what I did prior, right? Like, yeah. I think, leg press, dude, is like probably one of my favorites. I love it. It's just, I think, I've talked to my kid about it a lot, about like just all the lifts, what his, favorite lifts, why, whatever. And I, like, leg press, in my mind, it's like, I mean, fundamentally, right, like, it's not really a super, like practical lift, right? Like, I mean, there's not really very many positions that we find ourselves in where we're in the position of doing a leg press. I think the most fundamental lift that you could possibly do is deadlift, right? And then probably squats and maybe rows and things like that. Now, leg press is great. It strengthens a lot of it. It helps to build strength in the fucking knees and the ligaments, the tendons, and a lot of stuff. We're able to push a fucking heavy amount of weight. And by loading like that much weight onto our body, we definitely get some strength built up in our joints and stuff like that. Our tendons and ligaments start to build up and become stronger, right? Like, but they're just fucking fun, man. I love them. I love the way that they hit the body and make me feel afterwards. They're one of my favorites for sure. They get me good and pumped. And hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I've been doing them for a while too. Ever since I come back to the gym, right? I was like on Saturdays, I seem to come in and like just do fucking leg press, you know. Uh, I mean, I was doing deadlift for a while, and I need to get my deadlift up as well. I would like to improve out of all my max lifts. I would really like to improve my deadlift the most, right? My deadlift is the one that I feel like is lagging behind all of the others. Uh, and I mean, it's not even that fucking lagged behind. It's just, I just feel like my deadlift could come up a bit, you know. That's all. I want to be able to, I want to be able to deadlift like 450, right? Eventually, I would like to be able to do 500. I think by the time I turn, so I'm 43 right now. By the time I turn like 45, I would love to be able to bench press, 300 plus pounds. Let's say, I mean, let's say like, what it would be like. If we could bench press 300, squat 400, and deadlift 500, or something around those, right? That would be pretty damn good. And if I never got any higher than those numbers, I don't know if I would fucking care, because that's some serious weight. Like, deadlifting, and if I could do all that somewhere at around like 180 to 190 pounds, then I believe that most of those numbers, if like those were my max lifts for each one of those, oh yeah, hell yeah, dude, yeah, that'd be, yeah. I mean, I get that too, man. I mean, I like this gym is a 2 minute drive from my fucking house, and the other gym in town is even closer. It's an Anytime Fitness. Um, but like all the other gyms that are around, man, that would be 30, 35 minutes away, maybe 20. Then the town's like, I think Salem is like 20 minutes away from us. But then it depends on which side of Salem and where and when, and yeah. But I mean, if it was worth it, dude, and you could get yourself down there maybe even a couple times a week, for say like things like leg days or, a back day, and maybe even rotate your days you're in the gym, that way you're not having to go every single day. I mean, but then it feels like your gym membership costs more too if you go less. Like I get every fucking penny out of my gym membership, dude. I come here 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day, Like I take advantage of the fact that it's close and that it's 24 hours. Because like why not, dude? Why not just make this my second fucking home? I mean, sometimes I'm here for 4 hours a day, dude. Like literally, there have been a couple days this week I've come down here in the afternoons and just hopped on the bike and rode for like 30 minutes and then went home. Like I didn't stream it or anything like that, just out of stress and whatever. I would set my computer up, scanning some kind of fucking RAM test or whatever, and just come down here and watch some YouTube, you know, something like that. Honestly, I would be doing a lot of research onto the PC and stuff like that and what I could do. And fuck, man, my brain is melted right now, dude, from all the fucking troubleshooting and stuff that I've been doing, man. It's like, Buzzing Ranger, good morning, man. How you doing? You just missed it, bro. We just did. I thought it was a PR, but now I'm kind of second guessing myself, thinking maybe it wasn't actually a PR. I like, cause I I seem to remember at one point in time I calculated my weight and it was 720 pounds. And this was a while back. And I want to say that I did it like 6 times. But those 6 times that I did that, I like had my hands on my knees and I was like, and my knees were shaking. So then I think I stepped it down and I never went back up to that much weight, and I always cut myself off one plate shy. So I was doing like 14 plates for a long time, and like finally today I did like 14 plates for 10 reps, and it felt really solid. So I was like, well, let's put on an extra 2 plates. And I was extremely shaky, but I did it like 4 times. I feel like if I wasn't quite as exhausted, and I mean, I started with one plate on each side, did like single leg reps for like 30 reps, 20 reps, 25, something like that. I wasn't really counting. And then we added a plate and then did like narrow grip high stance for like 40 reps. And then added a plate and then did like a wider one and did some calf raises as well. And then started to get into the heavier stuff. And once I hit 4 plates, I started to do sets of 10, right? And then I just added a plate, another set of 10, add a plate, another set of 10, add a plate, set of 10. And then I got it to 7 plates per side, did 10, and then added another plate, and I only did 4. But like I said, I think my PR was 6 assisted reps. That makes sense, right? Like I had my hands on my knees to stabilize my knees from shaking, and I tried not to push, but this was like 4 months ago, maybe towards the beginning of the year, a lot closer to the beginning of the year, anyways. We're fucking over halfway through the year now, you guys. It's crazy, right? Fucking wild shit, man. What time we got here? But yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. How are you feeling, Buzzing Ranger? How are things with you? What do you got going on today? Oh, baby. Why is that? Yeah, I mean, dude, we ruin everything, man. I know. We just ruin it all. We just can't have anything good. I mean, uh, yeah, it sucks. I I mean, I use monk fruit sweetener, but it is not by any means all monk fruit, right? It's like if you look at the ingredients in most monk fruit sweeteners, it's like allulose or some other blend of something with monk fruit sweetener extract as the final and last ingredient, you know? Um, Same with like stevia, right? Like you get that Truvia brand stuff, right? So they use stevia is is not actually a sugar alcohol, is it? Or is it? Yeah, I don't believe it is. And whereas like allulose is, and so if you look at the Truvia stuff on the back of the thing, you can look at the gram per gram, right? So let's say one serving is 1 gram, or one serving is 5 grams, right? Let's say that's a serving. For a 5 gram serving, you would have 4 grams of sugar alcohol and 1 gram of something that's not a sugar alcohol, which is I can't remember. There's a lot of products that are actually like this, that exploit this kind of stuff where like, they can say that it's one thing and they only have to put a little bit of this thing in it, right? As long as they like say somewhere on there, like in smaller writing, they put like it's blended with this or with that. These fucking manufacturers just are always looking to like make a buck off of a name, right? Like, so if they find out that something's healthy and they can figure out a way to genetically engineer this shit that they can make it like for pennies and and essentially trick people into buying something that's the same thing and they don't have to do anything or get the real thing, then hell yeah, they're gonna do it. And it's gonna find its way into the stores and all over the place. And just, I mean, how do we stop it, right? Like, how can that be stopped? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you stop it because these health corporations and government run things are, they're lobbyists come in and they need a law, they need something put so that they can do this one thing so that they can, and oh yeah, well that's good, nice, yeah, probably because of maybe some water retention and stuff like that as well, right? Because like maybe you're also just like building muscle because sometimes with fasting, like things that benefits that we get out of it is like recycling of cells. Usually this comes with like longer term fasts, but I mean, I imagine that like doing intermittent fasting and stuff like that's got to have like, some minimal benefits of the same type of things. But I know like one of the things that when you're fasting for say longer than like 3 days, one of the benefits is like of a process that will break down old and damaged cellular structure, right? And then it takes that stuff and like recycles it into like new cell structures. So like it's a recycling process of, you know, so fasting has a lot of benefits, and the more and more people are doing it and under controlled environments and stuff like that, the more and more tests we're getting and more results and stuff like that that we're finding that it's really, really more beneficial than we might have thought in the past. So I I feel like the best way for us is to be balanced, right? Like, and by balanced, I mean we need to go through like certain phases of where we're consuming, carbohydrates for energy and where we're allowing our body to be able to burn our fat for energy as well, right? Because that's really like the survival mechanism that we have in place is, to be able to burn our fat for energy. And another one is also the fact that we can break down proteins to get glucose to fuel the brain. So like it is pretty badass. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, but because you need to have glucose. The brain needs glucose to function, and I think the process is actually called glucogenesis, if I'm not mistaken. And like it's actually where like the body will break down protein and turn it into glucose so that the brain can have the fuel that it needs to perform all the functions that it has to do. But fat is also a source of energy that is absorbed into cellular structure a lot easier and more readily than, you know, a lot of other stuff. And it's going to give a more stable blood sugar readout. And I mean, if we combine fat with, healthy fats with grains, then we can slow down metabolism and stuff like that. So like being able to like tap into all of these aspects and allowing our body to be able to utilize all of the survival aspects that it has, that when it actually might need to do it, it can. Otherwise we find ourselves in a situation where we're just running off nothing but carbohydrates, right? Because, let's face it, most of the food that exists on the store shelves, if it's processed in any way, shape, or form, it's extremely carb heavy. Like, carbs almost double the number of proteins, if not more, right? Like, and ultimately, like, carbs and proteins should be much more in line with one another, right? Like why are we consuming like twice as many grams of carbohydrates as we are protein? Like, I don't feel like that makes all that much sense. I mean, maybe sure we can consume a little bit more because we need fibers and we need, a little bit of, sugars, and all of this stuff like is a carb. Carbs are very, very, they cover a very wide range of foods, you know, and sometimes I feel like that's confusing as well because with protein, it's like meat, and then there's few plant-based proteins like beans and lentils and you know stuff like that, right? That we know of, and then dairy products, cheese, milk, and eggs, right? So, we pretty much nail down our proteins, right? They're easy, and then fats. I mean, obviously, we got fats from meat, naturally occurring oils from nuts, seeds, right? Now there's different kinds of fats, saturated and unsaturated, but for men, yeah, I mean, I've heard a few things. I mean, I generally just, for myself, I kind of just try and minimize my soy protein intake, but I mean, if you're gonna, I would recommend pea protein, you know, a pea. Yeah, yeah, I would recommend for plant-based proteins, honestly, I think pea protein, you know, that's going to be a really good one. And if you can get it fermented, even better, right? Fermented pea protein powder is going to be probably your best kind of plant-based protein powder that you can get. No need to worry about the soy. No need, no need to worry about any of that shit. Protein, or you can get some protein. But yeah, and carbs, man, I don't know, dude. Carbs are one of those things that just, it's too wide. It's too, because you have sugar, you have starches, which are actually a sugar. You have veggies, you have beans, you have, which are kind of a protein and a carb, and you have all these just different kinds of shit. And it's like, carbs affect the body so much differently. I mean, protein is protein. It's going to have amino acids and this and that, right? Whether it's like a soy-based protein or a plant-based protein or dairy or whatever, right? It's going to have the building blocks required to kind of support new protein and new muscle development within the body. But carbohydrates, you could have some that are going to spike the blood sugar, some that are not going to have no impact on blood sugar, some that are going to negate themselves if you want to count net carbs, right? Like it gets extremely confusing. So confusing to the point where when people talk about eating a low carb diet, you have other people that are like, how do you not eat carbs? And they don't understand that people who are eating a low carb diet are actually eating quite a bit of carbs. They're just not counting their fiber, right? Like, because they take their fiber at the end of the day and they take it out, right? So they're like, hey, guess what? I had 50 grams of carbs today. And somebody else looks at them like, what? How the fuck do you do that? You're like, well, I eat like 150 grams of fiber because I eat beans and this and that and veggies, and I don't eat rice and I don't eat oatmeal. And then then you get these big spitting matches as to which is better or whatever. But at the end of the day, both people are eating 250 grams of fucking carbs. You know what I mean? One person's eating 150 grams of fiber while the other person is eating 30 grams of fiber. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so now we have glycogen storage. So do we not get glycogen from fiber? I mean, do we only get glycogen from wheats and grains? I mean, because they say that it's carbohydrates and water bonded together. So you can see where things instantly get really confusing, and there becomes these argumentative stances that like flare up, and people start to fight with one another over literally the same fucking thing, just because of like the wording that they use. Like it's exactly. So you're eating like 170 to 200 grams of carbs a day to somebody who doesn't consider net carbs a thing, right? You know what I mean? Like, and there are a lot of people that don't like net carb counting, right? Like, because they just don't agree with it for whatever reason, and that's fine. Don't fucking have to. Like, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, it's like, it might not matter, but like, we're having the same conversations. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we're basing the things that we're arguing with people off of this information, and sometimes it's just wrong. I don't know. I try to keep a pretty open mind, and I try not to, like, I mean, if you want to count net carbs, if you don't want to count net carbs, that doesn't really matter. But what does matter is when we get into these discussions about my carb intake and your carb intake, and this kind of stuff, we need to be clear as to what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? Because, like, sometimes, you know, I don't know. Yeah, there really is, man. I mean, yeah, there really is. Everybody, I mean, I have a few rock solid things that I just try not to deviate from, form, like form and time under tension, and rest time in my mind. These are the three, like pinnacle fucking things of a workout, right? That they're gonna, like, make or break a good workout. For me, after the fact, walking away, assessing my workouts, thinking about what I did, thinking about the things that I did in the gym that day, thinking about all of the reps and all of the sets and all of the shit I did, I ask myself, did I maintain good form? Did I do my best? Did I push as hard as I did? Did I leave it all in the fucking gym? And oftentimes the answer is no for a lot of things, in a lot of ways, right? And, like, instead of, like, dwelling on this negativity or whatever, right, I try and accept it and learn from it and move forward and be better next time, and take the wins and the successes that I did get and did make, and focus more on those, right? Oh, really? Wow. I have never, ever heard that one. Ever. Like, what is the argument there? How does being vegan help you? Like, where, I don't understand that argument. Like, that to me is totally bonkers. Like, I'm just saying, like, that doesn't make much sense. I would like to see what their argumentative stance is on that. Like, if I'm going to have a discussion with somebody and we're going to talk about, reversal of diabetes and stuff like that, and you tell me, and then somebody tells me I got to be, no, well, you have to be vegan. That's the only way. The only way is to be vegan. Okay, so why? I mean, all right, explain yourself here. I'm not asking you, but these people, what are they thinking? I mean, it's like, like, first off, okay, I'm thinking about protein sources that exist in, what are we looking at? Like, no animal based anything, right? That's vegan. You can't have animal based products, so no milk, dairy, cheese, eggs, none of that. None of that's good. Can't have it, right? Um, so only solely plant based items. So what do we have for protein? I mean, we got beans, lentils, a bunch of soy stuff. I think that I'm not really qualified to answer that question completely. I mean, in my mind, I would think that fruit would be better. Yeah, because, like, Sprite is, like, high fructose corn syrup, like one of the literal worst kinds of sugar that you could possibly consume, even in small doses, right? You know what I mean? So, like, absolutely, having fruit would probably be a way better thing. I mean, in any situation, right? Like, fruit's going to give a little bit of, sugar, fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, trace minerals, maybe, I don't know, a lot of other stuff that you're just not going to get from the empty calories that exist in soda, right? Like, and the blood sugar spike that comes with it is as well is going to be like much more severe and drastic, leaving a crash, which is ultimately the number one thing that diabetic people probably want to try and control, right? As hard as it might be. And Buzzing Ranger just reversed his, so he knows all about it. Push me some weights. What's going on? How you doing? Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a couple guys, man, that are really good. Dr. Eckberg, and Dr. Berg. There's two. They sound kind of the same, right? It's Eckberg and Berg. They're both keto doctors. Like they lean heavily into like the keto-ish type of diet and stuff like that. And for diabetic and like reversal or pre-diabetes reversal, higher fat, low carb, high fiber diets are going to be way, way better. Just because they're kind of designed to keep the body's natural energy level in check, right? And that's going to be our blood sugar, right? If our blood sugar comes up over, we have a small little window of threshold that our blood sugar should stay within, right? We should stay here for like stability, right? You know what I mean? And no, like, so when we come up outside of this range, our blood sugar is considered to be high, right? When we eat something sugary, we come way the fuck up out of this range. And when we come out of this range, then it crashes and we dip down below, right? It's like you could think of it like momentum, right? You know what I mean? Like a roller coaster, right? Like it's not able to just stop where it needs to and flatten out, right? It can't do that. Like it can't come down and just, it moves in waves, right? So like the better we can control these waves and stretch them out over a longer period of time and make them be a little bit closer to this level of normal by, consuming a well-balanced diet, right? Which is going to be kind of different for everybody at whatever stage of life they're in, however they've eaten, or whatever kind of foods they've consumed throughout their lifetime, if they've become pre-diabetic, if they've had diabetes, if they are diabetic, if, are they insulin resistant, insulin sensitive? Like a lot of these foods really, really affect all this stuff, and all of these things can make it a little bit harder because the body doesn't function normally anymore, right? Because now we're insulin resistant, we're insulin sensitive, and it's different. It's different when you get into these states. And now, insulin, Buzzing Ranger, maybe you could, what the fuck was that? Maybe you could help me out. Is it insulin resistance? When you're diabetic, you're more on the side of being insulin resistant, right? Because like the body's not I get confused without looking at info. Sandoval, what's going on? How you doing, man? But I believe that's the way it is, right? And as we like stabilize things, right? We become like, we cut sugar out of our diet, right? We're like removing processed sugar, kind of lowering the carbs, keeping the energy more stabilized. We become more insulin sensitive, meaning that like smaller amounts of sugar are going to do a little bit more for us, I think. Like, so let's say, for example, if we didn't eat sugar for a long time, right, and we had a good stable diet, our energy levels are good, we've been eating really clean, right, and all of a sudden we're going to cut or whatever, maintenance, and then all of a sudden we have a big cheat day and we go eat some fucking donuts, right? You're going to have this major fucking spike, dude. And like, right, because you're super insulin sensitive, I believe, right? Like, your insulin resistance comes from too much high consumptions of sugary, carbohydrate, refined, processed foods, right? Not just sugars, but finely ground grains and wheats as well. These things are also really, really, really fucking bad for us, right? Like, So almost arguably as bad as sugar, as far as the blood sugar levels are concerned, right? Like you can eat sugar and have a major blood sugar spike, or you could eat a couple pieces of bread that are, like processed wheat and grains with a little bit of sugar, and you're going to have a very similar type of blood sugar spike, right? Even though you have less sugar, it's the refined grains as well that enter the bloodstream at an extremely high rate and cause issues. So, I mean, the best thing, man, ultimately, dude, I will tell you, the best thing that you could do for yourself is to eliminate empty calories, drinks, processed sugars, processed grains and wheats. Eat whole foods, naturally added fats. If you need to add fat, use coconut oil or avocado oil, grapeseed oil, algae oil. There's some really good, highly saturated oils that are really, really good that have a high smoke point that are not going to be, but stay away from the cheaper, lower quality vegetable oils and canola oils and all of that other shit. It's garbage. But man, uh-huh. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, grapeseed's pretty good oil. Most oils that you find that are gonna, like, I mean, I don't know, I'm not gonna say most, I guess. I'm pretty picky about my oil. I usually only use avocado and coconut. That's really the only oils that I buy. If for some reason there's no avocado oil in the store, there's usually a blend of avocado, coconut, and safflower oil that will get it, but I much prefer. I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I would just do a little bit of research on it all. That guy, Dr. Ekberg, he did a really good video about oils and like the process that they actually go through to get into the bottle where you pour. Oh, sesame oil. Yeah, sesame oil. I think it's really good for you. Sesame seeds are good. Um, it's the Look at the processing, the way that the oils are processed, right? That's what's really going to make or break it. Like the less an oil has to be processed, the easier the oil is to extract from a particular food or item, right? Say for an example, avocados, they're really easy to get oil from. So, add sub. Dude, the gifted subs are over, huh? The month is over. Nobody has their gifted sub anymore. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna have to get ready to go here, anyways. So let's see who's online while we finish. I would have skipped this ad if I would have known. We have the Sun Gym. We could raid him. I don't ever get to raid him. Yo, McReed. Yeah, we did a good day. We had leg press today, and it was amazing. I set a PR. Well, actually, I don't know. Okay, I'll say it was a PR because I did 4 reps at 720 pounds, completely unassisted, no hands on my knees to stabilize any wobble or anything like that. The last time I did that much weight, I did it for 6 reps, but I had my hands on my knees the whole time because like my knees were shaking really, really bad, and they were today too. But like, it's a lot of fucking weight, a lot of weight. We're getting stronger though, stronger every day. That's that's 16 plates, just so you know. Let's go raid Sun Jim today. He is a pretty hype individual, I think. I've been following him for a while. I hardly ever get to see his streams because he streams like when I'm at work or later on in the day when I'm playing games. And this afternoon, after I go shopping for food, I will probably be streaming some Fortnite and stuff. I want to play some games today. So I think I have everything set up on my computer that I could actually stream and kind of test things out and just have some fun and relax and not have to dive into a bunch of PC stuff, but maybe later this evening I might. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to take the computer off the wall and and put it in the case and take the computer that's in the case out, because I just don't think my little i5 processor is going to be good enough. Hell yeah, absolutely. I'm the same. My same name, exactly like it's spelled here, for my Epic account, for my Xbox account, for my Steam account, for all of my accounts. Psycho Commando, PHSYCO. So hell yeah, definitely. Y'all send me a friend request or something, and I'll. Yeah, for sure. All right, nice. I'll look for you today. All right, guys, we are out of here. I think this raid is about to happen right now. I started it a little while ago, and then I was blabbing, so I think we got. Yep, there we are. Peace, guys. I'm out. Taylor, are you still around on Kick? If you are, take it easy. I will catch you later. Everybody, I'm out. Peace.